Why would a man jump in a girl's DM and offer her like a lot of money, like let's just say $10,000?
For all the single men, how is it that you go out, and I know we speak a lot about money and who pays, but when you go out, do you immediately put a woman in a category of she's going to cost me too much money long term?
You know what I never understood? That men really be having the most prettiest, most go-getting, most motivating, most hottest girls ever. And then cheat on her with girls that are bums, crackheads, look like dinosaurs, look like crackheads, look like gorillas.
A man offered her $10,000 and asked for prayer in return. She still needed help figuring out the scam. And another man bought drinks, waited 20 minutes, then offered his number without asking for hers. She's still thinking about it. Welcome back to the modern judge. Let's go.
Hi. I have a quick question. I don't know if I'm naive or just not like privy to these things, but or whatever. Like, I mean, that's a lot of money just to offer a stranger. So offering $10,000 and then like in exchange for like prayer. I don't get it. Anyway, so this happened. This guy offered me money. I was like, what's the catch? And he just said, I need you to pray for me and I want to give you money. And then he proceeded to ask what country I lived in, and then told me like he's normally from Chicago, but now he's like, I don't even know, in Morocco or something. But anyways, it's all like goofy, but like, what is the point of that? Like, are they trying to bamboozle bank information? Are they trying to sex traffic me? Like, what's the scoop? I would like love to know, like, what is the scam on that one? Cause I don't know. It's like so weird. Get it.
Because it's mind-boggling to you, yeah.
She received a classic romance scam script, and her first instinct was to make a video asking the internet to explain it. The scam is that he is not in Chicago. He is not in Morocco. And there is no $10,000. She got there eventually.
It's not that I hate everything about feminism. I mean, obviously, I'm here for equality, duh. However, I think that there are man-hating feminists, and then there are feminists. I just think that those are two separate things, and I think the man-hating ones are corny. I think it's mad corny. I think it's mad weird. I think it's mad misandrist. And I make fun of that because that's something to be made fun of. Just like a man being a misogynist. Other men should be like, that guy's a freaking weirdo. He hates women. There's something wrong with him. That's exactly what I'm doing in reverse. I'm calling out misogynists. Hey, there's something weird about this girl. She hates men. That's crazy. That should be called out, not applauded. I know that some of y'all are really, really hurt by some of the men in your life, but that does not mean that we applaud misandrists. That does not mean that we applaud misogynists. Nobody should be so hurt by the other gender that they are just rooting for their downfall and oppression. That's insane. That's insane. Neither gender is superior. We are two halves of the same coin, and we should work together in order for us to succeed or even continue on this planet. Why do I have to preach that to people? This is crazy.
She said it plainly, without drama, without a lecture. Just, both extremes are wrong, and both should be called out equally. That position costs social capital on the internet right now. She said it anyway.
I don't believe in feminism. I think that if men are willing to do more and do more, then they should make more. That's the first argument. Everybody's like, men shouldn't make more money than women. I don't want to be a carpenter. Get up for me. I want your seat. Like, there's no reason we should get rid of those pieces of chivalry all for feminism. I don't know. Like you said earlier, we're taking it too far. We're taking it too far. I think that there are certain positions in society that are comfortable for a woman. And when you start pushing the men out of the other positions, then the women have to step into the ones that are uncomfortable for women. And I'm not willing to do that.
She described the trade-off that the conversation usually skips. Equal pay without equal risk is not equality. It is a selective reading of the deal. She read the full document and declined certain clauses. That is more honest than most.
An uncomfortable conversation that needs to be had is that our generation has been raised by women who hate men. I'm not just talking about mothers. I'm talking about school teachers. I'm talking about therapists, anybody that played a role in a child's development. They have actively tried to teach us that masculinity is toxic, but the truth is their negative experiences that they had with men were not of the nature of masculinity. It was the fact that the man himself was toxic, completely separate of masculinity.
That distinction between a toxic man and toxic masculinity is the one that almost never gets made cleanly. She made it in 2 sentences. That took more precision than most podcasts manage in 2 hours.
Obviously, there are a bunch of women who, don't hate men, but the problem is that academia and the media have been pushing this narrative to suppress masculinity and masculine traits such as assertiveness or leadership under the scope of them being dangerous. Men have been taught to feel ashamed of themselves and to respect women, but never what to do when a woman disrespects you. And this doesn't just have negative effects on men, it's women too. There are so many women of the younger generations that actively have this negative attitude towards men that's extremely prevalent, and anybody with an IQ above 5 understands this if they go out in public, where it's like they're very entitled and they're disrespectful towards men. And obviously it's not all of them, but it's something that needs to be addressed. And no, I don't think this makes me oppressed. I'm not throwing a pity party, but it is an issue that I believe that we need to address.
That gap, respect going one direction with no instruction for when it is returned, is exactly where a lot of men find themselves with no framework and no language for what they're experiencing. She named it. Most won't.
For all the single men, how is it that you go out, and I know we speak a lot about money and who pays, but when you go out, do you immediately put a woman in a category of she's going to cost me too much money long term? And I'm only asking because I have a good friend of mine, and that's the first thing he says about every girl he goes out with. Oh, she's gonna milk me for every dime I have. I don't know.
When a man has watched enough first dates turn into expensive lessons, that instinct develops naturally. It is not paranoia. It is pattern recognition. And the fact that this is even a conversation tells you exactly why that pattern exists.
You know what I never understood? That men really be having the most prettiest, most go-getting, most motivating, most hottest girls ever. And then cheat on her with girls that are bums, crackheads, look like dinosaurs, look like crackheads, look like gorillas, not even cute, not even ambitious, not even motivated, nothing that even compares to his girl's level. But they happen to cheat on her with the most wildest creatures. I never understood that.
What she is describing is real. But the reason it happens is never what women expect. High maintenance energy exhausts men over time. Sometimes a man does not cheat up. He cheats toward whoever makes him feel like enough without the pressure.
I'm turning 36 next month. I've never been married. I don't have kids. And honestly, I don't know if it's gonna happen. I don't know if that's a thing that I get. So I'm trying to figure out how to deal with being alone, which is something I'm pretty used to, unfortunately, and say all of the worst comments to this, but how I look right now, wouldn't wish it on anyone.
There's something genuinely honest in this moment. She is not performing strength. She is sitting with uncertainty and saying out loud. That kind of honesty is rare, and it is the first real thing said in this entire video.
I'm 39 years old. I've never been married, and I do not have any children. And if you're in your 20s and you're terrified of turning 30 and thinking you're old, let me tell you, I was exactly like you. When I turned 30, I was like, I'm going to have a box of tissues and I'm going to be crying and my life is over. And I can tell you this. Your life starts in your 30s as a female, okay? You stop caring about what everybody thinks. You start to actually love who you are and accept your flaws and your quirks and your features instead of trying to be somebody you're not.
She means well, but telling women in their 20s not to worry about timelines while sitting at 39 alone and admitting she does not know if marriage is something she gets is not encouragement. That is, quote, dressed up as wisdom.
I'm going to say something that a lot of women in their 40s probably won't say out loud, but I am subconsciously prepared to spend the rest of my life alone. And it's not because I'm broken or I don't want love or I don't want to find my person, but because somewhere along the way, I learned I can't count on another person for my plan. And I built everything in my life myself, my career, my business, and my body, and my peace. I did not wait for anybody to hand it to me. So when my marriage ended, as devastating as that was, I realized I wasn't scared of being alone. I was scared of going back to the version of myself that needed someone else to feel okay. And I don't need someone to complete me. I need someone who adds to what I've already built. And if that never comes, like, I'm going to be okay. I've always been okay. I think that's one of the most powerful things a woman can actually say out loud.
What the hell you say? She built everything herself. Career, business, peace, independence. And somewhere in the process of building all of that, she also built walls high enough that nobody could get close enough to stay. That is not strength. That is a very well-decorated version of loneliness.
I fear that I haven't encountered a man that has cracked the code on a 10 out of 10 approach, at least in my book. Let me explain. I was out the other night with my friend. A man approaches us. He goes, "You two are beautiful. Has anyone bought you a drink tonight?" We both say no. He goes, "I don't intend to interrupt your night, but I'd love to buy you both a drink." Comes back over, a drink for each of us, a shot for him. He cheers us, takes the shot, gets on his way as he said he would. My friend and I continue to sit there to have a little chit chat, a little hee hee ha ha, the whole nine. About 20 minutes later, which in my opinion feels like a respectable and appropriate amount of time to wait, the man circles back around. He comes over, he's asking us, "Hey, how are things going? Did you enjoy the drinks? Is there anything else I can get you guys?" We continue to have a little casual conversation as a group. We get to the point in the conversation where it's, "Hey, would love to keep the conversation going. We should exchange contact information. Let me give you my number." At this point, I have my go-to speech already queued up and ready to go. So I proceed to tell him, "Hey, look, I don't give out my number. I am very intentionally single at this point. I am not looking to get involved with anyone. I'm not interested in getting to know anyone." To which he goes, "Hold on. I didn't ask for your number. I asked if I could give you my number. And when the time comes, if you'd like to, and when you're ready to use it, you have it." I didn't know what to say. I was actually pretty stunned by that one, frankly. So I told him candidly, I said 10 out of 10, no notes. That was slick. That was real slick. And to answer the questions that I am already anticipating, yes, I did give him my phone. He did put his number in. No, I did not text him because intentionally single means intentionally single. However, the next day when I went to check my phone, I did see that he put his name in my phone as Nubu. I will probably be thinking about this interaction for a while.
He read the room, bought the drinks, waited the appropriate amount of time. When she gave the pre-prepared rejection speech, he calmly pointed out he hadn't actually asked for what she was rejecting. She had no response. He saved his name as Noah and left. That man understood the assignment better than anyone else in this video.